What the hell is it you want to do?
I want to become a member of the Scouts and slaughter every Titan that crosses my path.
Huh. Well played.
Yes, answering the question that I asked you. Very clever. Here we are at the final episode of the Attack on Titan dub so far. We're going to take there's going to be a little bit of a break, I guess, between now and the second half of the season. It's going to kick in September, apparently. So this is going to be kind of we'll put this on hold as well, obviously. This episode always fascinated me because the first half of it is so quick and action-packed, and they do a lot in the 10-12 minutes in the first half, and then the second half is all just kind of character stuff, which we'll get to in a second. First, I want to address why I didn't put up a episode for last week's episode, number 12, because I didn't see a point. It was virtually the exact same thing. The only thing worth talking about was the very, very last line of the episode, which is when Eren screams out, "The world beyond the wall is my birthright!" Which is just an awkward line to have Eren say. I mean, I understand the intention, because Eren's character does understand that we were here first, not Titans, therefore we have a claim to the Earth before they do. It's not fair for them to just move in, the way they are. So I get why why you would want the line to be that, but you would think that you'd try something a little easier to screen. As far as this episode goes, the first thing I want to actually address is a visual change to one of the first scenes in the episode. I've been pretty good about not bringing up the visual changes that they've made to the show now that they've gone back and done it again, because that's not really a judgment on the dubbing itself. However, this one is especially worth noting because it was so bewildering in the original version. It's when everyone is jumping in to help Jean escape, even though he's got broken gear. It happens right after it goes into slow motion. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be looking at. You know what I mean? It's a very blatant budget cutting choice. They didn't want to show the entire thing. It's just cheaper to show like some smoke billowing up and then cut to the next thing. It's very bewildering. But now they've actually gone back and they've added to it, which I was really hoping that they would do, and I'm so glad that they did, because now it actually makes perfect sense and it's actually pretty cool. They added a little snippet too when Mikasa and Armin and that one kind of rude girl are helping to get Eren to the wall. They add a little something in there too, but it's very minute change. Man, out of all the episodes to pull your A game out for, this had better be it. And shit, they really did. Everybody just slaughters their voice in this episode. Even God, I can't remember her name, Trisha, whatever, for Mikasa's voice actress. I was a little worried about her in earlier episodes when she would scream. It sounded muted, like she was trying to reserve her voice or something, but now... It's everybody bringing up to and trying to match the level of the emotion in the scene, and it works really well. But as I mentioned, the action dials back down, and then we get into the aftermath of the battle, the cleaning up. And the scene I want to talk about is the scene when Jean finds Marco's body. Marco's last name is Butt, but the Japanese pronunciation of it is Butt. So It's a little hard to take such a dire scene seriously when they're talking about butts. In this particular case, the English dub's director, his rather strange choice to have kind of a German spin on the pronunciation of the names actually kind of benefits this particular scene because they end up pronouncing it correctly. Thank God that worked out. Then we jump straight to the final scene of the episode, which is when Aaron wakes up in the prison cell. He's awaiting trial, and Erwin and Levi are there to have a couple words with him. And we start off with a really stupid line, frankly.
Where am I?
I think it's obvious. Let's just call it a dungeon.
So let's just call it exactly what it is. You start a sentence with "let's just call it," and then you follow up with some kind of a shorthand or a nickname or something like that, or some kind of a metaphor. You don't say "let's just call it" and then say exactly what it is. You don't look at somebody's broken leg and say, "let's just call it a busted leg." Like, this just. That being said, at this point in the series, we have had very, very little to work with in terms of analyzing the English dub for Erwin's character, done by J. Michael Tatum. This is the first moment where we actually get more than one line out of him, and it's done pretty well. He has a very natural, kind of deep baritone voice that's very becoming of a leader type character, and he really sells it. He doesn't get too overly wordy with his conversation either. He's very to the point, which is in keeping with the character, in my opinion. And then, of course, there's the dumb line that Levi has that I made fun of earlier, where he just asks a question, Aaron answers the question. Oh, well played. I hate that crap in anime. But all in all, episode 13 was a pretty huge success in my opinion, as far as the English dubbing goes. Like I said, this is a really important episode, and if it would have been so easy to drop the ball on this one. I'm perfectly okay with giving the point to the English dub on this one. I was really impressed with this. And now we have a huge break. It's kind of a bummer that the first episode that we're going to come back to when the dub starts back up again on Toonami is the worst episode of the series, but we'll get into that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far, and I guess I'll see you in like a month, a little over a month. If you want to, you can review the previous episodes, see how we got the score we got so far, get caught up, and I will see you guys then. Bye.